What's up, nerds? Tony of Them Nerds with you here to talk about the bombshell casting news for the upcoming Marvel Studios film Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was just announced, as previously mentioned by my homeboy Jerry on a previous video, that Will Poulter, known for his roles in The Revenant and Detroit, will be portraying long-standing cosmic hero Adam Warlock in the third installment of the James Gunn-directed Interstellar superhero franchise. Casual fans may not understand why lifelong nerds like Jerry and myself are so excited about this announcement, so let's break down some things. First, who the character even is. Second, why this matters so much to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And finally, what we may see from this character in Guardians 3 and beyond. Okay, so who is Adam Warlock? Originally known as Him in his 1967 debut on the pages of Fantastic Four number 66 and 67, Adam Warlock was genetically engineered by a group of scientists called the Enclave, who sought to create a perfect synthetic human. He is imbued with most of the classic stereotypical superhuman abilities such as strength, speed, durability, and flight, but his ascension to godlike cosmic being is inextricably tied to the Infinity Gems, in particular the Soul Gem. Like many of Marvel's long-standing characters, a full biography would be an hour-long video rife with retcons and convoluted time and space travel, so let's hit the important career highlights of Mr. Warlock. After his initial defeat as Him at the hands of the Fantastic Four, he retreated into his self-healing cocoon, one of his signature powers and one that was called upon in that post-credit scene of Guardians 2. He re-emerged 5 years later with the name Warlock and immediately found himself at odds with Thor and Lady Sif, with whom he wanted to mate. He encountered a group of human teenagers who dubbed him Adam because he needed two names like a real human. Of course he did. Warlock's most memorable story is likely the Infinity Watch storyline, in which he joined Earth's mightiest heroes in overthrowing Thanos to reclaim the Infinity Gauntlet. He would go on to create an organization called the Infinity Watch, in which he would safeguard the Soul Stone and his allies, Pip, Moondragon, Gamora, Drax, and strangely enough, Thanos himself. They would look after the other stones. He would later go on to usher in the creation of a new Guardians of the Galaxy team that included Drax and Gamora, and this team would be the inspiration for the MCU version of the Guardians that we know and love. His main rival might very well be himself. Now, I don't mean that in an existential kind of way, I mean that in a very comic book, evil future version of himself kind of way. His future self, known as Magus, was a psychotic, twisted version of himself. He led the fanatical Church of Universal Truth and attempted to cleanse the galaxy of the impure, as most fanatical cult leaders do. Okay, so now that we know a bit about who Adam Warlock is, let's talk about why it's a big deal to the MCU. Ever since Aisha unveiled the golden cocoon in that post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and dubbed her creation Adam, we've had a pretty doggone good idea that one Mr. Warlock was coming our way. Aisha and the Sovereign had been made to look foolish by the Guardians after they stole their batteries, and Adam was to be their ultimate revenge. Now we know that in the comics, Adam Warlock is primarily a hero, so it stands to reason that he will ultimately find himself in that role in the MCU. But first, we know we will see him in conflict with Quill, Rocket, and the crew. Warlock's entry into the MCU may be a harbinger for more cosmic action yet to come. When paired with the upcoming Eternals, the return of the Fantastic Four, and yet to be reintroduced characters like Silver Surfer and Galactus, we see a picture of a future MCU full of cosmic beings and galaxy-spanning adventure, and this nerd is all about it. What do you think, nerds? Is this a good casting? Is Will Poulter going to be the Warlock we all want? Will Warlock be a long-term addition to the MCU, or will he just be a foil for the Guardians? Will we ever see Pip the Troll? Please? Feige? Okay, a guy can hope. Alright, that's it for me today, nerds. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media at WeThemNerds on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Be good to each other. Later, nerds.